Hyenas enter the hunt with a level of determination shaped by countless survival challenges. They do not simply pursue prey, but are also willing to confront formidable rivals. The entire group moves as a unified force, applying constant pressure from multiple directions. Who has the resolve to stand in the path of these relentless warriors? Hyenas are among the most persistent predators in Africa. With a body weight of around 180 pounds, they can travel for miles in search of opportunity. Strong jaws, sharp memory, and coordinated teamwork help them maintain an advantage over many rivals. They do not simply wait for the right moment, but also know how to apply pressure through formation and persistence. As a result, hyenas serve as a natural cleanup crew, helping keep the ecosystem in continuous balance. If African wild dogs are considered a hunting machine with a success rate of around 80%, spotted hyenas emerge as their challengers through physical advantage and opportunistic strategy. This is not only a competition for food, but also a test of how well each species can hold on to its gains on the savanna. Wild dogs rely on speed and cohesion, while hyenas capitalize on numbers, weight, and a matriarchal hierarchy. After a prolonged chase, wild dogs must access their food source to recover the energy they have spent. However, the scent and sounds of the hunt can attract hyenas from a distance. A single adult hyena, weighing around 120 pounds, about twice the size of its opponent, often moves in first, followed by others to build collective pressure. Under the leadership of a dominant female, hyenas gradually take up advantageous positions around the food source. Tension rises as the wild dogs sense the shift in advantage. Rather than extending the confrontation, they typically spread out and choose to leave their catch behind to keep their members safe. This withdrawal is not a defeat, but a strategy that allows the group to conserve strength for the next hunt. This rivalry shows that securing prey is not the final step. Wild dogs excel at coordinated pursuit, but face challenges when holding on to food against larger competitors. Hyenas seize opportunities to conserve energy and maintain their group advantage. In the wild, the honey badger stands as a clear example that strength does not come from size alone, but also from strategy and endurance. Despite its modest build, this animal carries remarkable resilience. With skin up to about 0.25 inches thick and extremely fast reflexes, it becomes one of nature's most effective defensive specialists. Typically, honey badgers move alone, relying on self-defense to face a high-risk environment. This time, on the open savanna, a group of opportunistic hyenas gradually closes in and forms a loose encirclement. The tension begins to rise. However, the honey badger does not retreat. It constantly shifts position, maintains distance, and delivers rapid counter-moves that prevent the opposition from establishing a stable approach. Faced with that persistent resistance, the hyenas begin to recognize the growing energy cost. As a result, the pressure eases and the formation starts to spread out. In the end, they choose to withdraw in an orderly manner. The encounter concludes without the need for dominance. The honey badger remains standing, demonstrating that composure and initiative are the true deciding factors in a harsh journey of survival. Lions, large cats often referred to as the king of beasts, are a symbol of strength and order on the savanna. An adult male can exceed 400 pounds, with a thick mane and a roar that asserts territorial presence. Within the pride, lionesses take on the role of hunting, while males provide protection. However, that stability is challenged by spotted hyenas, long-standing rivals that rarely back down. In East Africa, when a group of lionesses has just completed a hunt, scent and sound quickly attract hyenas from a distance. Individuals begin to appear along the edges of the tall grass, keeping their distance while steadily increasing pressure. At first, the advantage seems to favor them due to their numbers. However, the situation shifts when a male lion arrives, forming a defensive presence that forces the hyenas to reconsider. Under that pressure, hyenas avoid direct confrontation. They spread out and withdraw in a controlled manner to conserve energy for another opportunity. This strategy proves effective when targeting isolated individuals or young lions, where sustained pressure can reduce the opponent's ability to hunt. On the savanna, the rivalry between hyenas and lions is not only about food, but also part of a broader ecological balance. Persistence and adaptability allow hyenas to maintain their place within the system. Across the vast grasslands of East Africa, the topi is known as a master of vigilance with an impressive burst of speed. With a body weighing around 300 pounds and sharp vision, it often chooses elevated ground to monitor any unusual movement. However, in an open landscape with little cover, even a brief lapse can create an opening for spotted hyenas. In the intense heat, as the rhythm of life slows, the hyena group begins to move with careful coordination. They spread out, focusing on a single individual at the edge of the formation, while skillfully cutting off escape routes. This forces the target to constantly change direction in search of a way out. As the pursuit extends, the advantage shifts from speed to the gradual wearing down of stamina. Under increasing pressure, the topi leaps, turns its horns, and adjusts its path to maintain distance. However, against opponents highly skilled at reading vulnerabilities, these responses gradually lose effectiveness. As support from the herd becomes fragmented, the gap closes, and the chase comes to an end across the open grass. For younger individuals, the risk is even greater, even as adult topi maintain a constant ring of vigilance around the herd. This serves as a reminder that nature does not only test speed, but also the endurance of every species. The leopard embodies refined beauty and a proud sense of solitude. Weighing around 150 pounds, it is a master of ambush, blending its spotted coat into sunlight filtering through the leaves. Beyond its efficiency in hunting, it can also carry prey twice its body weight up into the trees to keep it secure. This remarkable adaptability has turned it into a mysterious phantom of the animal kingdom. However, that stillness does not last long. When hyenas detect the scent of food, they begin to approach from a distance with slow but deliberate movement. Individuals appear beneath the tree, maintaining distance while gradually building collective pressure. If the leopard makes even a slight move away from its position, the opportunity quickly shifts to the opposition. In tense moments, the leopard may turn back and deliver rapid responses to hold on to its prize. For younger hyenas, this becomes a significant challenge. But as the group gathers in greater numbers, the balance begins to shift. In the end, the leopard often chooses to withdraw to avoid unnecessary energy loss. For the hyenas, persistence provides the advantage. Each decision reflects the broader balance of survival. African buffalo are among the most formidable herbivores on the savanna when it comes to collective strength. With adult individuals weighing around 1,500 pounds and curved horns forming a solid defensive barrier, they present a challenge even for the most dominant predators. When a group of hyenas appears, the buffalo do not panic. They immediately tighten their defensive formation and move the young to the center for protection. The hyenas begin probing tactics, circling the edges of the herd in search of an opening. However, every initial approach is blocked by the powerful shoulders of adult males at the perimeter, making attempts to break the formation ineffective. Yet this resilience does not discourage the hyenas. After sustaining pressure over time, they identify a more suitable target, a recently calved mother whose strength has not fully returned. The group quickly adjusts its formation, assigning some individuals to distract the adults, while others focus on applying pressure to the more vulnerable target. The pursuit concludes when the defensive boundary is disrupted, forcing the mother to turn back alone toward the herd to preserve the group's strength. This outcome demonstrates that hyenas are not only opportunistic hunters, but also highly skilled strategists of the natural world. A strategy is set in motion as the pod of orcas begins to tighten its formation. Orcas do not approach their target through chaos, but through near-perfect coordination. They divide roles, apply pressure, and create a trap within the open ocean. Even other predators can become part of this calculated plan. When intelligence reaches its peak, who truly commands the ocean? Beneath the ocean, dolphins are exceptional swimmers with impressive speed and a highly refined navigation system. They can reach speeds of nearly 35 miles per hour and maintain a steady rhythm over long distances. Coordination within the pod allows them to avoid danger and locate food efficiently. But in the open sea, that advantage is not always enough. At the edge of the gathering, black and white forms slice across the surface, signaling the arrival of a pod of orcas. Under the guidance of an experienced matriarch, the hunters spread into a wide arc formation. Another group dives quietly below, moving ahead to contain the target within shifting pressure lines. To track position, several individuals launch nearly 20 feet into the air, striking the surface to disrupt the opposing sonar field. Once a single target becomes separated from the group, the pace immediately intensifies. The dolphin responds with sharp 90-degree turns, attempting to break the approach path. However, the orcas maintain controlled distance, adjusting their positions with each movement. A powerful surge from below disrupts the dolphin's balance in an instant. As the surface grows calm again, another lesson of the wild is carried forward. The encounter closes as a clear reminder. In the struggle for survival, success belongs to those who control space and timing. Gray whales are vast ocean travelers, with individuals reaching around 80,000 pounds. With their immense size and thick, resilient skin, they are nearly untouchable along long migration routes. Yet this remarkable journey is always shadowed by an unseen pressure known as the orca. The pod does not focus on the fully grown giant, but on the young calves moving alongside their mothers. When danger appears, The mother gray whale quickly positions her calf beneath her large pectoral fin, guiding it toward shallow waters to form a living shield. The rhythm of survival tightens as the orca pod spreads in multiple directions, weaving through blind spots at speeds approaching 30 miles per hour. They move in cycles of approach and retreat, maintaining steady pressure to wear down the endurance of the pair. As the distance begins to stretch, the balance shifts beneath the surface. Orcas continuously adjust their positions, taking turns pressing from above to restrict the calf's movement at the surface. The prolonged struggle can last for hours, gradually reducing the calf's strength as the pod maintains control of space. The encounter ends in quiet stillness as the calf falls out of the protective formation. Even a powerful bond between mother and young must yield to the natural order, shaped by a single moment of lost awareness in the rhythm of survival. In cold and deep waters, stillness exists only at the surface. Here, the great white shark has long been seen as a symbol of ocean power. With a body reaching around 18 feet and multiple rows of triangular teeth, it stands among the most formidable hunters. Even a slow glide can be enough to redirect its target. Yet that strength has its limits. Great white sharks often hunt alone, lacking coordination in more complex encounters. In contrast, orcas move in groups, detecting from a distance through sound and approaching in synchronized patterns. That difference creates a clear advantage. Weighing up to around 12,000 pounds, the orca closes in with calculated precision. A key individual delivers a powerful tail sweep, generating force that briefly disrupts the shark's balance. The speed of contact rises at just the right moment, then is controlled to maintain dominance. When turned upside down, the shark enters a temporary state of stillness known as tonic immobility. In those critical moments, the balance begins to shift. The orca holds position briefly, takes advantage of the critical moment, then moves away. Beneath the surface, the advantage belongs to the one that controls timing and rhythm. The orca is not only powerful, but also understands how to turn strategy into results. Along the sunlit waters of Patagonia, the boundary of survival is measured in just a few feet of shallow shoreline. Sea lions move along the edge of the sand, staying about 15 feet from what they consider a safe zone. Here, they rely on shallow depth to avoid threats from the open ocean. But for orcas, that distance has never been a true limit. As the tide rises, the pod begins to adjust positions offshore. One individual accelerates to nearly 30 miles per hour, using the force of incoming waves to surge onto the beach. The moment of contact happens in an instant, enough to disrupt the balance of the target. Immediately after, the orca turns and slides back into deeper water before the wave retreats. In deeper areas, they face a different kind of challenge. Stingrays carry a barbed tail capable of effective defense. The orcas do not rush in, instead keeping distance to observe movement patterns. They select the right angle of approach, where the target has limited time to respond. A precise push leaves the stingray briefly disoriented. The orca does not need to increase pressure, only to hold position and control the surrounding space. With the success rate exceeding 80% in many conditions, orcas maintain their status as some of the most efficient hunters in the ocean. Deep within the ocean, Weddell seals are highly adapted residents, with streamlined bodies and thick layers of blubber that help them endure polar cold. An adult can weigh around 900 pounds, enough to retain heat in freezing conditions. When resting, they often choose drifting ice floes, separated from the movements below the icy water. But that sense of safety is only temporary. From beneath the surface, a pod of orcas begins to approach in perfect synchronization. They align side by side, maintaining equal speed before accelerating together near the surface. A powerful, coordinated tail strike lifts a mass of water nearly 5 feet high, crashing into the ice and causing it to shift violently. The seal quickly loses balance as its resting platform tilts toward the threat. If the first wave is not effective, the orcas repeat the tactic with greater precision. They adjust distance and angle, refining each attempt to overcome the seal's efforts to hold position. Once the seal slips into the water, control of the situation shifts entirely to the hunters waiting below. This method, known as wave washing, is not a simple instinct. Young orcas remain with the pod for 3 to 5 years, learning how to read waves, divide roles, and build knowledge across generations. Soon, the polar surface returns to its natural calm. In this frozen boundary, the highest level of adaptation belongs not to raw strength, but to the intelligence of the group. Beneath cold gray waters, a humpback whale mother weighing around 80,000 pounds raises her 16-foot pectoral fins like a steady shield to protect her calf. The newborn, measuring about 16 feet, carries a clear biological limit. It must surface frequently to breathe. Orcas do not approach with recklessness. They observe from a distance and wait for the moment when the mother and calf move into open water. The pod quickly divides roles, with one group trailing behind to apply pressure, while another moves along the flank to force the mother to keep changing direction. Each time the mother turns to shield her calf, the orcas reposition, extending the approach rather than confronting directly. This sustained rotation gradually reduces the humpback's physical advantage over time. What stands out is the contrast in size and strategy. The mother relies on strength, endurance, and protective instinct. The orcas rely on coordination, discipline, and precise timing. The encounter reflects a familiar reality in nature. Size can offer an advantage, but strategy ultimately determines control of the ocean's rhythm. Across the vast ocean, orcas stand as a dominant symbol of intelligence and strength. They live within tightly bonded matriarchal families where hunting skills are passed down through generations. A large brain and a complex communication system allow the entire pod to coordinate with remarkable efficiency. From icy polar waters to tropical seas, this apex predator adapts to a wide range of environments. Through discipline and group strategy, they remain among the most capable hunters in the ocean. Without the need for a title of dominance, hyenas still maintain their distinct role in the wild. They are a vital link, helping keep the rhythm of the savanna in balance. Each set of tracks in the night reflects the enduring adaptability of nature. That story continues through every rainy season and dry season across the African grasslands. If you would like to explore more, be sure to like and subscribe today.